Hello everyone and welcome to this video. This video will cover the electoral night of last November 3, 2020 of the presidential election of the United States. If the proportional allocation of electoral votes was used, each state can choose the way it appoints its electors. And this time we will suppose that they are sent in proportion to the votes in every state using the own method. This method was invented by 19th century Belgian mathematician and lawyer Victor D'Hondt and is widely used in dozens of countries around the world. To start, in national-wide polls by Joe Biden, Democratic candidate foreign vice president, enjoys an 8-point lead over current President Donald Trump. This is the worst performance in nationwide opinion polls in an incumbent since 1992, when George Bush Sr. was president. And we start with the 7 p.m. ET closings: Georgia, Indiana, Kentucky, South Carolina, Vermont, and Virginia. In Georgia, the race is extremely close, so the 16 electoral votes will be even split. 8 electoral votes for Joe Biden, 8 electoral votes for Donald Trump. In Kentucky, Donald Trump has a big lead over Joe Biden. With 62% of the vote, he will get 5 out of the 8 electoral votes, with Joe Biden getting 3 with his 36% of the vote. The state of Vermont, one of the most liberal, the most progressive states in the nation, Joe Biden will get 66% of the votes and 2 electoral votes. Donald Trump, with 31% of the vote, will get 1 electoral vote. The state of Virginia will be won by Joe Biden. He will get 7 electoral votes and Donald Trump will get 6 electoral votes. Donald Trump is on the track to win Indiana, but the margin is quite unsolved. So we just still don't know if he will get 6 or 7 electoral votes. If he gets 7, Joe Biden will get only 4. If he gets 6, Joe Biden will get 5. We will discover this along the night. South Carolina, with 9 electoral votes, is too close to call. Both candidates are tied, but it's sure that both of them will carry at least 4 electoral votes. The last one is too close to call. And at almost 7:30 p.m. in the Eastern Coast, Joe Biden has 28 electoral votes, Donald Trump has 30. You can see in blue, in dark blue, states that have more electoral votes for Joe Biden. In dark red, those who have more electoral votes for Donald Trump. You can see Indiana is in light red because Donald Trump will have more electoral votes than Joe Biden, but we still don't know how many. Georgia is in purple. Both candidates are taking the same amount of electoral votes, and South Carolina in yellow is too close to call. It's 7:30 p.m. in the Eastern. North Carolina, Ohio, and West Virginia have closed the polls. In West Virginia, Donald Trump, with 69% of the vote, has more than doubled the vote for Joe Biden that is just 30%. This means Donald Trump will carry 4 of the 5 electoral votes from West Virginia, with Joe Biden only getting 1. North Carolina is tied and is too close to call. Out of these 15 electoral votes, each candidate will have at least 7. We don't know still who will get the last electoral votes, who will win the state and take that 8th electoral vote. Donald Trump is on track to carry Ohio. He has a small lead over Joe Biden. We still don't know if the result will be tied or it will be a 10-8 for current president. It's 7:54 p.m. We have a race alert. South Carolina has been called for Donald Trump. He will get an additional electoral vote. He has a 12-point lead over Joe Biden. Right now, at almost 8 p.m., Donald Trump has 51 electoral votes to Joe Biden's 44. 9 p.m. and poll closes in quite a bunch of states. In the state of Alabama, Donald Trump, with 62% of the vote, will carry 6 out of the 9 electoral votes. Joe Biden will get 3. In Connecticut, Joe Biden, with a 20-point lead over Donald Trump, will get 4 electoral votes. Donald Trump will get 3. In his home state of Delaware, he has a 19%, Joe Biden a 19% advantage over Donald Trump. He's going to win the state and he will get 2 electoral votes. Donald Trump with 40%, only 1. In the District of Columbia, a landslide for Joe Biden, 92%. It's more than 3 times, in fact, it's more than 10 times the vote for Donald Trump, but having more than 3 times more votes, it means that he will carry all the 3 electoral votes of Washington DC. The state of Illinois, 20 electoral votes that will be allocated, 12 for Joe Biden, 8 for Donald Trump. There is a 17-point lead for Democratic candidates. The state of Maine, Joe Biden has a lead, but not big enough to force a 3-1 victory. So the votes will be even split, 2 for every candidate. The state of Maryland will be carried by Joe Biden, and with 65% he will get 7 electoral votes. Donald Trump with 32% will get 3 electoral votes. New Hampshire, Joe Biden has performed very well, above expectations, and has an 8-point lead. However, this translates in a tie in terms of electoral votes, 2 for each candidate. The state of New Jersey, Joe Biden enjoys a 16-point lead over Donald Trump. Out of the 14 electoral votes, Joe Biden will get 8, Donald Trump will get 6. The state of Oklahoma, Donald Trump has more than doubled the votes for Joe Biden, so he will get 5 electoral votes out of the 7, with Joe Biden just carrying 2. In the state of Tennessee, Donald Trump is going to carry 7 out of the 11 electoral votes, while Joe Biden will get 4. Florida has just closed and is too close to call. Biden has a rather thin lead over Donald Trump, but we still don't know who will get the last electoral votes. It's true that every candidate will get at least 14, but who will get the last electoral vote? We have to wait. It's close to call. Massachusetts. It will be carried by a big margin by Joe Biden, but will he be able to get 8 of the 11 electoral votes and make Donald Trump only get 3? If not, will carry 7 and Donald Trump will carry 4. In Mississippi, Donald Trump has a 17-point lead. He has a sure 3, but he is on track to force a 4-2 record score. Joe Biden is trying to get a tie. The same happens in Missouri. This is even closer, with Donald Trump just having a 5% lead over Joe Biden. Perhaps we will see a 5-5 score or a 6-4 favoring Donald Trump. Pennsylvania has just closed and it's too early to call. Just a few votes have been counted. We'll return to this key state later. Joe Biden will carry the state of Rhode Island, but it's not sure that we will be able to pick 3 out of the 4 electoral votes. Donald Trump may push forward to force a tie. Just at 8:30 p.m. Here's the status of the things: quite wide, equal, neck to neck, 120 for Donald Trump, 119 for Joe Biden. You can see Maine, New Hampshire, they are in purple. There are electoral vote ties in those states. States in yellow are either too early or too close to call. State 30, Arkansas close, and with a huge margin of victory, Donald Trump will carry 4 electoral votes out of the 6, leaving Joe Biden with just 2. And prepare for a race alert. In Indiana, Donald Trump will carry 6 electoral votes. His advantage is not enough to force a 7-4 scenario. So Indiana has finally allowed its electoral votes 6-5. This is the state of the race to the White House: 124 for Donald Trump, 122 for Joe Biden. It's 9 p.m. There are a lot of states have currently closed. The state of Colorado has been carried by Joe Biden by a 13-point margin, so he will get 5 electoral votes, and Donald Trump with 42% will get 4 electoral votes. The state of Louisiana, Donald Trump has an 18-point lead. This means he will get 5 electoral votes, while Joe Biden only gets 3. The state of Michigan, it's extremely close. It's close enough that no matter how many votes are to be counted, it's sure we can project that there will be a tie in number of electoral votes. Even numbers, 8-8. In Nebraska, Donald Trump has a 19-point lead. He will get 3 out of the 5 electoral votes, and Joe Biden will get 2. In the state of New Mexico, won by Joe Biden by 10 points, it will get 3 electoral votes. Donald Trump will get 2 electoral votes. In North Dakota, it's been a huge win for Donald Trump. With almost 2/3 of the popular vote, he will get 2 electoral votes. Joe Biden will get 1 electoral vote. The result is quite similar to the one in South Dakota. 2 for Trump, 1 for Biden. Wisconsin is extremely close. We can project that with each candidate getting 49% of the votes, 5 electoral votes for each. The state of Wyoming, one of the most conservative states in the Union, has awarded 2 electoral votes for Donald Trump, 1 electoral vote for Joe Biden. Donald Trump hasn't been able to triple out the votes for Joe Biden. If it was 75 to 25, for example, he will carry all the 3, but this wasn't the case. Arizona is close to call. Has an odd numbers of electoral votes, 11, and race is tight. Every candidate will pick at least 5, with the 6th electoral vote being battled. In Kansas, Donald Trump has a 14-point lead. That is exactly what he needs to get the 4th electoral vote and force a 4-2 result. However, if Joe Biden picks a few more votes, it will be enough to make a 3-3 tie. That's why we keep it too close to call. Joe Biden has won Minnesota by a over 9% margin. It's unclear if the result will end in a tie, or it will be a 6-4 in favor of former Vice President and Democrat Joe Biden. New York, with 21% of vote counts, 29 electoral votes, Joe Biden enjoying a 12-point margin, but it's too early to make a prediction with just 21% of the vote counted. The same happens in Pennsylvania. Donald Trump has a 6-point lead, but with only 33% of the vote counted, still don't know what will happen. In Texas, Donald Trump has the lead. Currently, it may end in an electoral vote tie 19-19, or perhaps Donald Trump can get enough votes to get 20 electoral votes and let Joe Biden only 18. It's 9:27 and we got race alerts. The state of Massachusetts has finished counting. Joe Biden more than doubles the votes for Donald Trump, so he gets 8 out of 11 electoral votes, Donald Trump just 3. The state of Mississippi will end in a 4-2 for Donald Trump, with a 17-point lead. In Rhode Island, a 20% lead is enough to give Joe Biden 3 electoral votes and Donald Trump 1 electoral vote. If Donald Trump had received just 1% more of the vote, this would have forced a tie. In the rest to win, Donald Trump has a really small lead of 189 to 126 for Joe Biden. 270 are needed to win. You can see in light colors leading. In dark colors the state has been awarded, and in purple there is a tie in electoral votes awarded. It's 10 p.m. 4 states closing. In Iowa, Donald Trump has won, but the 6 electoral votes will be split evenly, 3-3. In the state of Montana, Donald Trump has won. He will get 2 electoral votes. Joe Biden will get 1. The state of Nevada is extremely close. We predict that with every candidate getting around 49% of the votes, so 6 electoral votes, every candidate will get 3. In the state of Utah, with a 20% margin, Donald Trump will get 4 electoral votes, to Joe Biden's only 2. It's 10:31. We got alerts. The state of Kansas, Donald Trump has just the percentage he needs to force a 4-2 score. He leads by 14 points, and that's exactly what he needs to force a 4-2 electoral vote result. The same thing happens in Missouri. His lead is large enough to guarantee him 6 electoral votes, leaving Joe Biden with just 4. The race for the White House, Trump has an 8 electoral vote lead over Joe Biden. It's 11 p.m. 5 states close. Hawaii has been won big by a 30-point margin by Joe Biden. He will get 3 electoral votes. Donald Trump will get just 1 electoral vote. In Idaho, it's just the opposite. 31-point margin for Donald Trump, 3 electoral votes, 1 for Joe Biden. In Oregon, 7 electoral votes, Joe Biden will get 4, Donald Trump will get 3. In the state of Washington, Joe Biden will get 7 electoral votes, Donald Trump will get 5 electoral votes. Joe Biden's advantage isn't large enough to get an 8-4 score. Finally, California is too early to call. Only 21% of the votes have been counted. Joe Biden more than doubles Donald Trump votes so far, but it's too early to call. And we have some race alerts incoming. New York, we're getting results. Joe Biden has a 17-point lead over Donald Trump. He will get at least 17 electoral votes. Donald Trump will get at least 11 electoral votes. Who will get the last electoral votes? It depends on the percentage. Pennsylvania is now too close to call. Donald Trump has a 6-point lead. Joe Biden will try to narrow the margin and force a tie. There are still nearly 1 million votes to count in Pennsylvania, but we project that perhaps Donald Trump, if he keeps this advantage, he will get 11 and Joe Biden just 9. The counting of the mail-in votes, 1 million votes to be counted still, can make a tie. But is it not possible for Joe Biden to get more than 10 electoral votes, counting on the track he is right now. The map is almost complete. All states, just but one, have closed. There are some states that are too close to call or too early to call in yellow. It's 19 minutes after midnight, and we have alerts. Minnesota. Joe Biden will win, but not enough margin over Donald Trump to get the 6th electoral vote. So the 10 electoral votes of Minnesota will be even split. In the state of Ohio, Donald Trump has won big. Has won by an 8-point margin, will give him 10 electoral votes of the 18, and Joe Biden will get 8. Donald Trump now has 2 electoral votes over Joe Biden, 238, 236, but states heavily Democratic as California and New York are still in the early moment of counting the votes. It's 12:30 a.m. and we have an alert. Joe Biden has spoken to the American people. We are on track to win this election. At this moment, he has overtaken Donald Trump in the national popular vote. These are the words by Joe Biden. Now he will get his rest while he awaits the results. Donald Trump is still attending the results, following the results on television. And we have an important alert. Joe Biden just says we are on the track to win, but he has lost the state of Florida to Donald Trump by a 3-point margin. This mean that Florida 15 electoral votes for Donald Trump, 14 electoral votes for Joe Biden. Donald Trump adds an extra vote to his tally. It's 1 a.m. Alaska has closed polls. Donald Trump will get 2 electoral votes. Joe Biden will get 1 electoral vote. Donald Trump has a 10-point lead. And we have an alert. Donald Trump has won the state of Texas by a margin big enough to put him with 20 electoral votes out of the 38. Joe Biden will get just 18. In the race to the White House, Donald Trump is taking his lead. Is still small, but growing. It's 2 a.m. We had a projection with 66% of the vote counted. We can project that there will be a tie in Pennsylvania, and its 20 electoral votes will be even split. 10 for Donald Trump, 10 for Joe Biden. In the race to the White House, Donald Trump has 242, Joe Biden 238. It's 2:30 a.m. and we had an important announcement. Donald Trump has spoken and he's saying has claimed victory. He has said he has won the election, despite it is too early to call. He has a lead in electoral votes, despite being behind in the popular vote. But remember, a lot of votes in heavily democratic areas of the country, such as California and New York, are still not counted. We are getting close to 3 AM and we have a major alert incoming. That is, with the last updates of the incoming votes, of the incoming result, we can project that Joe Biden will be elected the 46th President of the United States. He has surpassed the barrier of 270 electoral votes. He has won the state of Arizona by a 0.4% margin. He will get 6 electoral votes, with Donald Trump getting 5. At least 17 electoral votes in New York, with perhaps getting 18, and Donald Trump will only get 11, with 60% of the vote. And he will get, out of the 55 electoral votes in California, he will get at least 36, with Donald Trump getting at least 18. He is on track to almost double Donald Trump in votes in California. Joe Biden has been elected 46th president. He has logged 275 electoral votes. Donald Trump right now has just 260. The election is decided. We are finished receiving results. It's 6 AM. With 84% of the vote counted, we project that Joe Biden will get 36 electoral votes from California, while Donald Trump will get 19. Another alert is coming now. Right now, it's 9 AM on the next day. With 84% of the vote counted, we can project that Joe Biden has won the state of New York by over 20 points, and that will give him 18 electoral votes out of the 29 that New York's awards. Donald Trump will carry only 11. It is now 3 PM. The last projection we have, with 98% of the vote counted, Donald Trump has a 1-point lead over Joe Biden in North Carolina, and he will get 8 electoral votes. Joe Biden will get 7 electoral votes. These 3 alerts just make the 538 electoral votes allowed, with Joe Biden getting 276 electoral votes and so elected 46th President of the United States, Donald Trump getting just 262. In the popular vote, Joe Biden has a 4-point lead. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.